Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. Hi, Nance. How are you? So good. I hope. Hey, Carmen. Sorry, you guys. My thing's all wrinkly. So I was thinking, hey Keels, that I would try and go a little closer today. I don't know. I'm not even completely sure what I'm going to paint today, but I thought maybe it would help if my camera was a little bit closer today. So a bunch of things to talk about. Bible journaling. I will have that up on my website today. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that I have a picture of our project, and I'm not all the way finished with that. I will finish it today, and I will post everything. So it will be held on the 30th, which is my other grandma's birthday. How cool is that? And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share it with all of you. It's just a fun way to start this brand new year. Whimsical Lettering is on the 23rd. That is up on my website. Inspire Your Heart with Art is on the 31st. All of these things are written on my calendar that I posted. Just wanted to give one more, I wanted to let everybody know that I heard you about the artwork. You're not being able to see it, so I did it thicker and darker this time so that you can see to trace the traceable onto your Bible page. So I'm anxious to hear what you guys think about that. I have some designs that are coming out this Friday from Funky Fossil Designs, the UK company, and I haven't gotten my samples. They got lost in the mail somewhere between Leeds, England, and here. So Sarah's going to be resending them to me, but just know that I will have more information as the week goes by, and so I presume on Thursday I'll be able to tell you more about where to look for them and all of that jazz. And you'll get to, if everybody could like and comment on all of those, her design team's creations with that artwork, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks, Keels. You are the only one that got in the group because you signed in before I kind of had it all together. And then I took it down so that I could reconstruct it. And so, but by today, I promise everybody will be able to get in. Okay, so let's talk about, well, we're going to create with Grandma Chickie a couple more days, because then on the 18th we have some brand new artwork coming out. But today I just really was feeling the need to, well, I still need to finish this. So I thought we could all just sit around and create and talk. But while we're creating, I really wanted to talk about, so Sunday night on PBS, the series All Things Great and Small began. And I remember reading that book in high school. Like, it was a big, I think it was published in 72, maybe. Anyway, it was so good. And it was, last week was a crazy, it was just a crazy week. But, and there's not a lot you and I can do about all of that crazy stuff that's happening. But we can fill our brain with nice things, like all things great and small, all creatures great and small. So, oh, Nance, you saw it. Wasn't it fabulous? Wasn't it fabulous? I'm telling you, I just, holy tamale. It was so good. So because I did that, so I'm feeling like maybe like a light blue background on this banner. What do you think? That's what I'm thinking. Hey Laura, how are you? Hi Renee. So I'm feeling like I really like this turquoise. Me too, Nance, me too. And I'm going to take a little bit of this navy and kind of, because I really like that kind of that periwinkly shade, but I want this really nice and light. So I'm going to put my eraser under my palette, and then I'm just going to start painting in this banner. I just want it to be nice and light, and then we can always deepen it as we go along, but just get that base of color down. Me too, Nance. Hey Teresa, how are you? So like I said, I remember reading that in high school, and it was not for a class or anything, just because it was, maybe it was a bestseller or something. I don't know. I just love to read, so it was, so I'm anxious to read it again, but I really am loving watching the series. And a Sunday night series is so nice, isn't it? It's just kind of a nice way to end your weekend and begin your next week, and it's just a lovely, gentle story about a veterinarian in England. And I think it takes place, is it in the 30s? Is it in the 30s? Oh, Renee, that's funny. Nope, I'm here. Let's see. This seems like there was something else I really wanted to talk to you about besides a TV show. But that TV show is so good. It was just, you know what? Simpler times, and oh, it's just lovely. Just lovely. I mean, I don't know that I'd want to have been a girl during those times. We didn't have a lot of rights back then. But the story is nice. And this girl just needs a nice, sweet escape. Oh, guess what? Our new refrigerator came yesterday. I'm telling you, we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. So it came, and it's a what do you call it? French doors on the top, and one of them makes a really loud squeaky noise. Oh, Renee, you know what? Francine Rivers, in a book club that I used to belong to, we read one of her books. I know, seriously, Nancy, 4.5 months. Is that the craziest thing? Is that the craziest thing? So, Francine, which book is Masterpiece? Is that the name of the book? Is the Masterpiece? I'm trying to think what the... Oh, if Lucinda was on here, she'd remember. Well, maybe she'd remember. We both have terrible memories. I remember like some, you know, long ago things, but recent things, I'm like, we read one of her books in book club, and I'm trying to think what it was. She's a very good author. She's a very good author. You're right, Renee. I just like a nice story, don't you? I just, and that's kind of how I feel about TV shows, and I just want a nice story, you know? Oh, I need a paper towel. Just a sec. Okay, so do you guys feel like this closer is better? Are you feeling like you can see what I'm talking about better? Oh, that's a great idea, Keely. That is a great idea. I know. The whole stupid daylight savings time. I know. Because my parents live in Michigan, so I'm telling you, I am always have that moment where I'm like, is it 2 hours? Is it 3 hours? Is it 2 hours? Is it 3 hours? Oh, good. Thanks, Keels. I'm glad that it's making a difference. Creating a little bit of shadow and shading here. Wiping off that excess paint and then just working out into a nice gradation. This one is much lighter than this one, so we'll just have to slowly build it. Let's see. So, but it's called The Masterpiece, Renee. Yes? I'm trying to think what and you know what, that's so funny because I almost tried to look it up on my phone. Can't do that, I'm filming with my phone. But I will write it in the group what that Francine Rivers book that we read was. Maybe we should have a book section. Some nice suggestions. Oh, that's nice. I'm liking it better. I am. I'm feeling like I need to do some work on, let's see. Oh, Renee, you're funny. I'm a better person in the morning, Renee. You get a better Anne in the morning than in the afternoon. That's for sure. I might just try. Build up some. Hi, Becky. How are you? Build up some more dimension on the banner. There we go. So now we'll just let that dry a little bit and then work our way in. Maybe deepen this other blue. So how about anybody else reading anything good? Redeeming Love, that's the one. That's the one that we read. That's it, Renee. That's the one that we read in book club. Keely, didn't you read that too? That was such an interesting experience. I have always wanted to be in a book club, but just never got the chance, like for whatever reason. Anyway, my friend Tammy started a book club, and it was just a really interesting experience because everybody got to pick a book, and so some people picked books that I would have never picked, but oh my gosh, my world became richer because of it. Like some things, sometimes I just like to watch and read just all nice. I don't want I don't want anything icky because there's already enough icky in the world. But I read some stories that I would have never read, and they were so fascinating, and so the characters were so rich, and just really, really opened my world, and that was so good. What are you reading, dear child? Oh, really? So is it a novel, or is it, what is it, Keels? Dear child. Oh, I would love that, Renee. I love a good book. I was really feeling like I wanted to reread All Creatures Great and Small. To see like what I remember from reading it the first time, and how I view it now versus back then. Oh, you know what? I have never read Jane Eyre. I have never read Jane Eyre. I know. Weird. So, if you have, I did want to talk about, if you have signed up for some of my classes, I have sent invites to that class's private Facebook group. So be sure that you accept that invite so that you can be in that group. I'm trying to figure out I'm just always trying to improve upon my last time. I have a little video that I want to do before class for whimsical lettering, like setting up your composition book in ways that have worked for me in all of my years of doing lettering. I used to, that was part of the class, but I can't do that anymore. I can't give you a book anymore, but I can give you lots of other things, so that works out well. I can give you lots of content, and when you sign up, oh my gosh, this is looking so much better, you guys. Don't you think? I'm liking that. I think I'm going to set that aside before I do too much. Imagine. Let's see, what do I have over here? Rooms. Me too, Nance. I'm really liking it. All right, let's see. we could certainly do a background here. But one of my design team members, Charmaine, did a background with some stencils, and I have to kind of study it a little bit more, but I'm feeling like I'm really loving it. So I'm feeling like I could paint the background, and then on Thursday I could fiddle with some stencils, and we could talk about that a little bit more. So let's do a blue. Let's do a purplish background on this one. So I'm going to get a bigger brush. These silver black velvet, they are lovely brushes. Every now and again I splurge on a little something. They're not horrible. I will just tell you, like, you know, I don't spend lots of money on brushes, but these are really nice. Absolutely. I'm telling you, Renee, that is one of the best things I think you can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just start, and then it gives you a little time to ponder too, you know? And I think pondering is an okay thing to do. I think this purple is really going to make that yellow flower pop. And remember that I made the borders bigger on for each card size. So this is actually 8.5 by 3.5. So you have lots of room for like, you can go to the edge right here, right? You can go to the edge because some of that's going to get cut off anyway, you know, with your die or just your trimmer. Because, you know, for the most part, cards really look nice with a... Cards really look nice with a mat. Your artwork really looks... It just kind of sets off your artwork. Yes, you can't go back. If you sometimes, that's right, Renee, you might go too far and then you're sad. Although it's got to be pretty bad for me to not be able to figure out a way to make it work. Although I have had a couple that I was like, what was I thinking? Why did I think that would be a good idea? So so on Thursday, let's do some stencil work. So gather up some stencils, and we'll kind of fiddle around with that. And I am going to stencil on top of a painted background. I just really like that. I like the you know, I'm all about layers and layers and layers. So I just think that will really add some more dimension to our cards, you know. Oh, I was going to say, so next week, let's start creating some Valentines. I do have some new Valentine artwork that's coming, but in the meantime, we have 2 art printables that already have hearts. So let's create some Valentine, oh, look at my fingerprint. Some Valentine cards so if you haven't already purchased Aunt D, which is the cactus hearts, or Joy San, which is the yarn hearts, be sure to get those, because that's what I'm going to be creating with next week. I want to try and create as many Valentines. You know, I know people say, oh, it's a Hallmark holiday, blah, blah. You know what? What a better time than now to just let people know that you love them and you're thinking about them, you know? I mean, it's been such a crazy time. We should do little nice things for ourselves and our friends and loved ones. So this is much deeper, but that's all right. I'm kind of digging it though. I think it's, and remember, I just like to create that background that's, exactly, Renee. And it means so much more, don't you think? When it comes from your heart. Not that a Hallmark card can't come from your heart. That's for sure. All right. Hey, Sue. How are you? But like I said, I really I love when I get cards in the mail. So, you know, why wouldn't other people like when they get cards in the mail? And that's what we do, right? We are card makers, right? We are artists. I'm liking the deeper purple. But remember, I told you last, I really like it to look like like an old plastered wall. So I want it to be like shades of purple, you know? I'm really digging that. Like we started already with the lightest purple, and then let's continue to deepen it in areas, and then, you know, then we can also go in with our colored pencils. We can go in with our watercolor colored pencils, and then we can do some stencil work on Thursday. So our artwork will never be flat. Clean a brush. All right. So let's see. This is feeling a little blah to me, but I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. So let's move on to this guy. Let's see. Oh, see, like I love that there's like these little areas of light coming through. I feel like that's really, You know what? I feel like I really want to do a red carnation. I haven't done red yet. So let's just start with a nice red wash. La la la. So I'm just going to take my nice big brush and just tap some color in. Not all the way to the edge. I'm just doing that nice wash of color. Remember, we can always build up the dimension as we go along. But we just want that nice sheer layer of washy base color, whatever color you choose. I'm feeling like a red carnation today. And carnations are the flower of the month. Like, did you know that every month has a flower? So I'm kind of like challenging myself to draw all of those flowers. There we go. Let that dry. Let's do the stem. Nice green. Again, I just like to do a nice wash of color because then we can always deepen it and, you know, do all that. We can do all the other stuff later. The dimension and the depth and the highlights and lowlights and shadows and all of that jazz. We just want to get that base of color down first. Okay. Shut up. Look how pretty that is. Ah, I'm loving that. I am. But I think I need to let that sit because it's really wet. We need to let it dry all the way. So we could do something with this, but I just don't know what I want to do with it. I feel like, let's pull in a new something. Did we, oh, I have this one. No, let's do this. I'm going to set that to dry, and then we'll come over here. Looks like this needs some work pulling this color out. Well, I don't even remember what I painted this with. Did I paint this with watercolor pencils? I might have. But isn't that the beauty? Like, the beauty is that because they're all water soluble medium, they're all a water soluble medium. Sorry, getting into my shading too much. That you can mix and match them, right? So we can work with this, pull out some color, work on this blend and gradation of color. And then if we want to use some watercolors, we can. If we want to pull out our watercolor pencils, we can. I don't know, maybe this was Karen markers. I don't remember. It seems like it was, didn't we start this one the other day when we were doing watercolor pencils, it seems. I just love that with color we can create such cool dimension and such like it just starts to take on a life of its own, you know? Like you start to see the curl of the petal, you start to see the folds, you start to see the depth. I love it. And all with color. And remember, you can use whatever color you have. That's the beauty, is that because we generally focus on water-based art mediums, art products, art supplies, that you can, all of these techniques can be used on with any of them. Did you hear the ice fall? That was like one of our first loads of ice, so we've got to dump it with the new fridge. It's so crazy. It just doesn't even feel like it's our fridge yet. And the cabinet above it is still not done, so it isn't all the way done. But, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. I told Jeff, we will appreciate this fridge so much more than we would have if we would have gotten it that same day. Because it took so long, you know? Oh my gosh, I'm loving that. Pretty. I just really like moving that color. I think that's that's what draws me to water-based supplies, is that I can move the color, and that because I love it so much, I use it a lot. Do you know what I mean? And so I get to know it. I get to know what it can do, and how much water it can handle, how much what paper it works the best with, how many coats my paper will hold. Hey, Stephanie Prince, how are you? Oh my gosh, I'm just loving it. It's just starting to like come to life, isn't it? I think it is. What brush am I using now? I really like, my favorite brushes of all time are, well, I really like these silver black velvets. They're super nice. But I also really like Connoisseur. They are, they're just a really nice, they have a nice snap. They hold their shape really well. They're not horribly expensive. Maybe $6 to $8, which is a little bit spendy for me, but they last forever and a day. I also have some Low Cornell. I like those, but do you see the difference? Let me see if I can find another 6. No, that's a 4. You'll notice that each, that's a 4. Oh well. You'll notice that each brush, there we go. Each brush maker has kind of a different, has their own way of putting their brushes together. The Connoisseur has a much nicer snap, I think. Do you see how the Low Cornell is looser and the bristles are much longer, and it kind of goes straight and then is tapered, where the Connoisseur, I just feel like it just really has a nicer taper, I guess. So, you know, it's all up to you, certainly. It's what feels the best for you, what produces what you want it to do. Do you know what I mean? So you do kind of have to, experiment and play with it on different mediums, and play with it on different substrates, and play with it with different, different amounts of water. All of those things matter. I like a firmer snap. I don't like it as floppy. Some people love it really floppy. So Connoisseur are kind of my go-to. And if I were to recommend brushes and sizes, I really like a round brush. I feel like I can do more with a round brush than a flat brush or a filbert. But that's not to say that I don't have those. I do. But I tend to, how I just tend to go back to what works for me, what I'm most comfortable with. I do try new things, and sometimes they work their way into my repertoire. But I would get a 6, a 4, a 2, and a 0. If you were that gives you a really nice range of There's a 6 and a 4. Let me see if I have a 2 up here. Of the connoisseur. What is this one? A 1. So you see the difference in, let's put those in order. Let's see. It's a 6. Well, see, look, I have these cheap Dick Blicks, and it's okay. I got it because it's a 0, and I wanted to try something new. It has a really great snap, but I feel like the bristles are super long, and sometimes I don't love that. What's this size? It's a 6 also. So a 1 or a 0, a 2, a 4, and a 6. That's what I would get if I were to recommend them to anyone. So let's leave this because I'm not exactly sure what I started with. It seems like it was colored pencils, doesn't it? Like watercolor colored pencils. But we have 2 other flowers here that we can paint. How are we doing on time? Looks like we have about 20 minutes. Well, I really liked the red. Does that help, Nance? I really like the red. I really liked that red one that we did. The red carnation that we did. And so I feel like I want to do some more of those. Hey, Pam. So I'm going to bring my silver black velvet again. And just really work on a nice light wash of color. Turning your paper so that you're not having to contort your arm. There's nothing like that, is there? And sometimes I really like to leave some white spots just for, oh, silver black velvets are fabulous, Nance. Just get one and see what you think. I know Arizona Art Supply carries silver black velvets. Any let's do another red one. I'm just feeling it this morning. Yeah, if I'm doing stripes, I'll use a flat brush or a filbert. But sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I really like it when the stripe has kind of an uneven edge. So I'll use my round instead. But it's up to you. Turn again. So pretty. So let's set that aside. And let's bring this one back. Because look at how light that dried. Isn't that fascinating? So, hey Sue, I know, I'm digging them too. I am digging the reds too. So let's come back in with another coat of red. Just a loose, organic one more wash of red. Let that set that aside. So, have you driven by Susan's new store yet? Ugh. I want to get that vaccine so I can just fly and come and see all my Oklahoma friends again. That's for sure. Okay, so let's set that aside. Let's see. I think filberts are cool, but I hardly ever... Yeah, I don't use the angle brush like at all. I never use that. I don't even buy them anymore. I bought them back when I thought that I had to. Do you know what I mean? I thought that I thought that, you know, to be a good artist you needed a full range. But if I don't use them, that's just stupid, right? So now I need to wash all the red out of this brush. And now let's take a number 4 and we're going to paint this green and then we'll do this green. Yes, I think so too. I think so too. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of her. You know, what a lot of work. What a lot of work. And she's just a one-girl show. But it's going to be fabulous. And our next Give Yourself Grace is going to be out of this world. Isn't it, Sue? When we can actually see each other and hug each other again. That's so funny because I just came across that picture of all of us. Remember when you came here? And I thought, how little did we know that hug would mean so much. And that we could crowd together and get a group picture. Holy smokes. It's all so crazy. But we'll be back to normal soon. Yeah, like I said, Renee, I think that's just it, right? You just have to use what feels best to you. You know, just, you're going to feel like what feels good in your hand. And so oftentimes I will just buy one at a time so that I can figure out what's working for me. Solomon, do you need to go potty? Nope, just wandering. Just buy one. See how it feels. And then you'll notice that my brushes, because the sizes that I have, I'll get them in all different brands. 2s, 4s, 6, 8 sometimes. And I'll just try them in all kinds of brands because that's what I've found I like the best. Is those sizes of round brushes. So I'll just try them in all different brands. Hubby and Dad are helping let you hurt her foot. Oh, honestly. Oh, Renee. You know what? We text back and forth, but she didn't tell me about her foot. Then maybe I didn't watch it on the live where she talked about it. Oh, well. Have to reach out to her today. Carmen and I were just talking about that, about making a point to, especially during this pandemic, reaching out to friends and, you know, just really, oh, thanks for the time update, Nancy. I appreciate that. Solomon, you're so loud. That now's the time to really reach out to friends, and it doesn't take a lot, you know. Just give them a text or send them a card. That little act can just brighten someone's day. And it doesn't take a lot of effort, you know. You know, we all have cards that we've made, or a bunch of things that we've painted that we haven't made into cards yet. Tessa and I were just talking about that. So she is. Susan owns a store in Oklahoma called Paper Arts Edmond, and she was in a very small store, and now she's bought a much bigger store, like way more square footage. And that's the store, Keely, that I traveled to Oklahoma and did the Give Yourself Grace Bible Journaling Conference a couple years in a row. And then last year, we just kept going, well, we'll see how it goes. Well, maybe we'll have to do it virtually. Well, I mean, the whole thing just turned into craziness. But we will do it again. That's for sure. Susan makes me laugh like nobody's business. Oh, I'm so sorry she dropped a box on her foot. And you know how easy that is that's so easy to do, that's for sure. Poor thing. Oh my gosh, I'm just loving it, you guys. It's really starting to take on a shape and some dimension, you know. I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So painterly. I know, Renee. The landlord, she had a really stinky landlord, but there was an amazing. Let's go, Keely. There's an amazing hamburger shop 2 doors down from her old store. That was what? What, Sarah? Did Shadow die? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sarah, did she pass? Ugh. Oh my gosh, Renee. Now I wish I could call her and hug her so bad. Or go to her and hug her. Well, I will send her a card today. Oh, Keels, you know what that's like. Shadow was just their baby. Oh, that's so sad. That is so, so sad. Oops. Oh, I'm so, so sorry. I will reach out today. Ugh. It's just so hard, isn't it? It's just so hard. Grief is a terrible thing. And to lose a pal, a furry pal, is the worst. Oh my gosh, yes. Susan and Tommy just love that girl. They love that girl. And she was just the funniest. If I was sitting at a table teaching, she would come over and just put her head on my leg. Like, hello, you haven't pet me in a while. It's just the crazy, it's just the worst, isn't it, to lose a pet. I think we don't realize how much we depend on them. Just their unconditional love, their just that little sweet presence in our day, you know? Oh my gosh, it is like losing a family member. And they are babies, that's for sure. That's for sure. So now I'm feeling like I'm thinking for this one, you guys, I just had a thought. I'm thinking I'm going to do blue. Like a light blue banner and a dark blue letters. Because then I could use it for thank you for your service. Like a military. And what's the it is like, oh my goodness. It seems like there's what's the holiday that's coming up that's for our armed servicemen and women. Carmen? Is it Armed Services Day? Armed Forces Day? Is that? No, I don't remember right off the top of my head. Oh, Nance, I'm so sorry. So be sure to remember our friend Jan, who had her carpal tunnel surgery, in your positive thoughts and prayers if you can. And Nancy, how's your brother? We've been thinking about him too. Oh my gosh, and everybody else who has a hurting heart in any kind of way. We will send positive vibes and possibly a card or two. How's that? I think. Oh my goodness, Nance, I'm so glad. What a scary, scary time. I think I'm boring Solomon. He just left the room. He's had it. He's going to sit on the couch. Jeff hates when he sits on the couch. But I don't care. So if it's just me downstairs, he will climb up and sit on the corner of the couch. Jeff just hates it, and it makes me laugh every time. And I bet that's what he's doing. So funny. I'm really liking that. So I noticed that there were a couple of little splotches like right here. Can you see that there's a little bit of red right there? But I should be able to just work it out with this wet brush. Oh, here comes the whole gang. Alright, I think I'm almost out of time. Am I? Oh, there's just nothing like it, is there? They just give such amazing unconditional love. That's for sure. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. It's a good stopping point, and I will continue to work on these. Remember to gather up your stencils, and we'll fiddle around with those on Thursday. Like I said, I promise I will get Bible journaling. I will get Let's Get Artsy with Our Bibles up on the website today, and I will post the artwork, and everything else is up for and ready for signups. Be sure to check your notifications for invites to all of those different Facebook groups. That's where our class will be held, and that's where I will put all of the coordinating artwork for each class in that website, in that Facebook group. So you'll always, you'll have access to it all the time. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Tuesday morning to hang with me and to just, get artsy. I adore you all. I am so grateful for your love and support. It just means the world to me. It really, really does. And this friendship, I'm telling you, I am forever grateful. I am forever grateful for this. And I just brag about us all the time, about how I have the best group of friends, some of which I've never met. So until Thursday, have an amazing next couple days, and I will see you Thursday morning at 9 o'clock right back here at my kitchen table, and we will play with stencils. So paint some of your art printables. I'm going to be working on Grandma Chickie, so if you want to do kind of what I'm doing, that's what I'm working on. So paint some of those. If not, that's all right. We're just gonna play with stencil-y techniques. I adore you all. Thank you so much for taking time out of your morning for me. I'll see you Thursday. Bye.